Hi, welcome. I'm Ross Fontana, your host. I'm joined by Joanna Snyder and Roger Janik of SSD. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, we were talking about web marketing today, and wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what are some ways that a business owner can really track this to see if it's really working for his business? Is there a way to do that with web marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. There sure is, and it's very important that you do so, especially if you're spending a sizable budget on your web marketing or web advertising efforts. So there's a lot of tools you can use out there to track what you're doing. There's some free tools, and there's also some paid tools. One of the free tools that you can use is just Google Analytics. Through Google Analytics, you can see what kind of traffic's coming to your website because of your marketing efforts. You want to see that there's a steady increase of unique hits or unique visits coming to your website. Google also has what's called Google Webmaster Tools or Google Webmaster Central, and in that tool, which is also free, you can see the queries that people are typing in into Google to find your website. So what you're ranking for, what keyword phrases you're ranking for on page 1 of Google. It's also a free tool. Okay, so by looking at that, see what you're showing up for in Google and seeing how much traffic that's coming in. That's a good indicator that your marketing, online marketing or online advertising efforts are doing something. Now, you can take that a step further, okay? There's a lot of software platforms out there that are lead tracking, okay? So from Google, you can see your rankings, you can see that's going up. You can see your traffic, and you can see that that's going up over time, which is great. But now, how do you quantify those efforts, the marketing and advertising dollars that you're sinking into this? Okay, it's very important that you make sure you're getting a return on investment. So through some of these lead tracking softwares, it'll allow you to track every phone call that comes into your website, really? Every email that comes in from your website, every form submission that comes in from your website, if somebody did a live chat session, if somebody downloaded a white paper, pretty much any actionable item on your website can be tracked, and it can be tracked as a lead, and it can tell you what the source was, right? So if it came from Google or Yahoo or Bing, it'll tell you what keyword phrase was typed in before the lead was triggered, right? Okay, so you can really drill down deep and find out, okay, well, I had 20 calls this month, right? And it all came from natural search engine rankings on Google, right? And then you can say, oh, well, I had 5 other phone calls that were paid listings on Bing, right? So that's a good way to really quantify your efforts on your marketing and advertising budget and see if it's all working or not.
Right. Now, Johanna, just curious, as he's talking here, I'm thinking about when you're tracking these leads and you're tracking the report, what's the importance of having the right kind of goals, I guess, at the beginning, knowing what you want to accomplish? I mean, how important is that?
That's a great question. When we sit down with clients, the first thing we actually ask them is, what is your goal? What is your goal in the next quarter, 2 quarters, in the year? And then what products or services are we focusing on? Because that is the meat and the potatoes of the entire campaign. Once we establish that, we're able to figure out, okay, which keyword phrases are going to be best. Because when you're looking at keyword phrases for their marketing campaign, we need to make sure, A, are people actually searching for it? And then B, how much competition is there out there online that you're going to be competing against? Is it going to take us, 6 months to get there? Is it going to take us 2 years? We need to be able to look at that at the beginning. And that's going to be able to tell us at the start what our ROI is going to be. What is our return on investment going to be in the next 3 months, in the 6 months? So it's very, very essential to do that.
So you've got some tools in place, or you have the experience to know roughly how long a search or how long an SEO process is going to take with a particular client on certain keywords? Is that what you're saying?
That's a great question. Nobody can sit here and tell you, Rollis, your keyword phrases that we have done for you are going to rank in 3 months or in 6 months. There's no way for us to be able to tell that.
But you just interject, you can tell how difficult it is going to be, right? So some keyword phrases, let's say, give me an example of, let's say, used cars, okay? That might be a really high competition keyword phrase. A lot of websites are optimized for that keyword phrase. So it could take a couple years to show up on page 1 of Google for that phrase. But if it's like used cars, Houston, Texas, right? That's what we call a long tail phrase. It's going to be a little easier, a lot less competitors out there. And so maybe in a short amount of time, maybe within 6 months, if you're lucky, you can get to page 1 of Google, okay? But when I say lucky, there's a lot more that goes into that. You've got to be hitting it with the right marketing deliverables, the right amount of articles, the right amount of blogs, the right amount of press releases, the amount of inbound links, and all of that.
I wish we had more time. That's great stuff. We'd like to have you join us back again.
Okay,
Sounds
sounds good.
Thank you.
No problem.